everyone. Welcome to our conversation this Friday morning with Father Pat. And as you may have heard, if you turned on the television at all this week, or just may recall in your memory, that it was a year ago this week that life began to change for so many people with the pandemic coming on us kind of full bore at this point. In fact, I'm looking at a timeline that we put together earlier, and it was March the 13th when the health emergency was declared, and it was the 13th and 14th weekend, which happens to be this Saturday and Sunday, when SSJ was forced to, for the first time, cancel the fish fries, the Stations of the Cross, a pancake breakfast, and the St. Joseph's altar get together was also was closed, and I know masses were suspended on this beginning with the 17th. So wow, what a year I guess it's been, Father.
What a year it has been, right? Yeah, the changes that went in effect there, right, can't be understated. As you were reviewing that, it's just unbelievable, And now here, as we sit a year later, it's important for us to look back on this past year and see how we've changed, how we're different, right, and where we need to go from here as a result of it. It's been a devastating year. Just the separation that we've had, right? The problem with society is that we are too individualistic. It's too much just thinking about me and myself. And throughout this year with the shutdown and the lack of physical contact and the lack of being out with people and all. Then the closing of our churches and the way people haven't been able to come into the church and have that physical contact with God, receive communion, all of those things has had to have a huge impact on us, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's good here as we're here a year out to stop and reflect on where we've been this last year, but more importantly, to look to the future, right? And that's where we as a parish, we as a family, as a community, we need to be looking at is okay. So where do we go from here? What is normal, right? How do we get back to normal? What does that even mean? Right, that we've changed so much. We're so different that it's kind of like where do we even begin? And here as a parish, we've been thinking about that. We've been thinking these last few months, especially about how we come out of the pandemic. Of course, last week with the governor's statement about the release of the mandate. Then the Archdiocese said, we were keeping all of the same protocols that we had before. So we're staying with those same protocols, but it is a wake-up call that we've got to start thinking about how we grow from here, how we move from here with those protocols as they're lightened up, what we're doing as a parish, what we're doing as a community, what each of us are doing as a family to just reestablish those relationships, to reestablish the relationships with each other, and most importantly, to continue to build in that relationship with our God. I mean, it's been remarkable as you look over this last year, the things we've done, this whole Zoom technology, to keep in those relationships. I think back about how we as a parish have continued to serve throughout this. The work we did with loaves and fishes, especially in those early days when everything was shut down, and the work we've been doing with them since. And we really have to recreate that sense of reaching out, helping, coming together as a community to help others. That's why right now I think this year more than ever our Holy Week mission is just so important. Last year we were scrambling to turn our Holy Week mission into a totally virtual environment. Now this year, we're looking at our Holy Week missions as being both a physical environment, encouraging people to come back, encouraging people to come physically, to come to our Triduum liturgies, our liturgies on those 3 great days of Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, the Easter Vigil, Easter, to really come back into the liturgical celebrations, but come back together to help and support each other. We have our service missions that we're doing. Those will be kicking off in the next couple of weeks. And it's really important that we reassert ourselves to those efforts to reach out in love to our community. We'll have the shoe and sock drive for loaves of fishes. We are collecting food for Easter baskets that we'll deliver there on Holy Saturday. And we're introducing a new mission with the Box of Joy, which is where we'll fill a box with items that we'll send down to families in need down in Guatemala, down at the Diocese of Suchi down in Guatemala. And, it's those efforts. It's continuing to reach out. It's continuing to serve others. It's continuing to come to Mass together to pray, whether it be physically or virtually, however it is right now as we come out of this pandemic, however we continue to feel safe. Those are things we've got to really be emphasizing even more, trying to do even more, making that deliberate effort to again grow out of the changes, grow out of the things, the setbacks that we've had over this last year. It's at the end of the day, it is all about love of God and love of one another. And in so many ways, we've been prohibited over this last year to fully expressing that love of God and love of neighbor. And that's why now we have to just make even an extra effort to restore our sense of the love of God and love of neighbor, to go forth and truly let everyone know that we're Christians because of our love, that love we have in our community and how we share that love with our community.
And Father, just to build briefly on all of these events that we have that you've mentioned tonight, the fish fry from 5 to 7:30, Stations of the Cross at 6:30. And then on the bulletin front page this weekend, we'll have more about the Box of Joy. And then we'll continue to have articles and whatnot featuring all of the different service projects on the Holy Week's mission. Father, thanks for your time this morning.
All right.
Bye.